Matt J on Discord said, one problem that multiple projects are trying to solve in the blockchain space is bridging the two most general groups of people involved, i.e. high-tech savvy people and the crypto curious, as Matt termed it. Can Meryt be inclusive enough to allow anyone the ability to contribute their particular expertise?
Well, yeah, I mean, Matt, you've touched on a big topic for us as well. It's a big part of what we're aiming to do is to, make this incredible technology, these tools available to everyone instead of just the most advanced coders and kind of crypto natives. So we're doing that in a number of ways. One part of that is if we go back to this kind of economy of value where we encourage people and reward them for any value that they create, that doesn't just apply to coders. Great if you build some code that provides a lot of value to DAOs, you'll be rewarded for that, certainly. But coming up with ideas, coming up with investment strategies, auditing code for DAOs, all of these roles exist within the Meryt ecosystem. And ultimately, in the long term, anyone that provides any kind of value, regardless of the level of technical expertise, is going to be rewarded. And so, in order to encourage people that are less potentially tech and crypto savvy to do that, we obviously need interfaces that are very easy to use. So we have different layers for this. At the one level, of course, it starts with building the code, but then also it comes down to having top class, very simple interfaces. And when we talk about having this unified place for people to use all kind of tools, that's a very important component. That single interface is extremely easy to use. Răzvan, anything else to add?
I think you covered everything, really.
Okay, well, let's Răzvan, I've got a fresh question for which perhaps you could tackle. This is from Gorillas on Discord. Can you describe in detail the current development efforts, such as market expansion plans and expected applications and public events, and give some detail on timings around the protocol launch? So just a general overview of what the roadmap looks like in our expansion plans.
Yeah, 100%. So when it comes to the development efforts, we are currently working on an MVP version of what we're trying to build. This is something that is being developed internally, and at the same time, we're looking at partnering up with development houses, which can help us bring this to the next step, as well as looking at organizing hackathons to tap into the talents that the community that we're building has to help us integrate the decentralized applications, build the user interfaces which are friendly for non-crypto natives in order to make this a scalable product and an attractive product. When it comes to market expansion, I think this can take different nuances. So I guess on one perspective, there is the network that we're going to launch on. So that if that is one side of the question, that would be on the scaling solution for Ethereum, either Polygon or Arbitrum, and with having insight as well, expanding in over different other networks. And as for expected applications, we're certainly looking at helping the centralized organization to be able to better manage their treasuries, their monies, and collaborate, as well as reach certain decisions at the network level, as well as allow digital organizations such as investment syndicates and even individuals to manage their money in a easy manner. As for public events, we've previously launched a contribution campaign, trying to gather a momentum behind what we're building, as well as scouting the initial early adopters of the protocol, as well as the first developers. And when it comes to the protocol launch date, what we're aiming for is early autumn.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah. The full roadmap will of course be decided through Meryt itself. So the participants will have their say. The DAOs that are in Meryt will have their own demands and suggest code and functionality that they need. People will vote on that, and money will be allocated to developing those features. So it's not something that is going to be set in stone by us by any means. We've got all kinds of suggestions, but you guys in the community will come up with your own ideas, and ultimately we'll decide together what the priorities are.
Okay, great. And obviously there's a lot of potential investors listening to this. So getting down to the nitty gritty, what are the rough timings of the IDO, which is extremely important for everyone watching, of course?
Sure. I mean, yeah, it's you see projects kind of moving around their IDOs at the moment because of the market conditions. We've always kind of been expecting roughly October, and we're still roughly October at the moment. Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to try and we're going to launch the MVP around about September, October time, and then the IDO will quickly follow afterwards. Okay. Next question was from Carlo on Telegram. Will there be at some point a platform on Meryt where users can communicate with each other without leaving the ecosystem? Something like Subsocial from Polkadot. Răzvan, do you want to tackle that one?
Yeah, sure. So what we're essentially trying to do is don't necessarily try to reinvent social media and create a new platform. What we're trying to do in the early stages is really look where the people in our community collaborate, discuss, where they feel at home, and actually bring the solutions that we're building across to them to make the interactions with the decentralized applications that will be living on the Meryt protocol, as well as other types of use cases be accessible from the places where these users use to communicate. So yes, this is what we're aiming.
Yeah. So projects like Subsocial and Satellite, Web3 communication platforms, we very much welcome them. We're looking forward to the shift from the old kind of Web2 stuff that doesn't necessarily fit the needs, and we'll be looking to integrate rather than kind of replicate and replace these new Web3 platforms, so we can reach into people where they are already communicating.
Yes, we're also keeping a close eye on what Reddit is doing at this point, trying to bring their community into the decentralized space. So this is a development that we're watching closely and looking forward to integrating them once they have a solution.
Yeah. It's an extremely exciting development for the whole space. I think everyone's watching that very closely. Okay, thanks for that, guys. And then next up was from Rasesh on Discord. I hope I said that right. Who are the funds and treasuries you're hoping to partner with, and how do you plan on solving their issues? Are you going to approach them and say, hey, we can give you better results than your current decision-making process, which will give you, in return, will give you better financial results? So yeah, the question was about funds and treasuries we're hoping to partner with.
Yeah, I mean, we're in very early stages. We are talking with a few funds and treasuries and other organisations. We aren't really looking to push and sell and make crazy promises about what happens on the platform. We're more looking for people that do want and welcome decentralised governance solutions, and that are very open to using Meryt themselves. Yeah.
Okay. And I think for more on that, just to mention as well, there's a fair amount of material on use cases on Medium from some of the most recent blogs from Seth. So if you haven't read those yet, then I'd recommend to go and check those out at medium.com/Meryt. Okay. And how are people being rewarded for making contributions to the protocol? Was the final question there.
Răzvan, do you want to get that?
Yeah, sure. I can take that one. So as Seth touched on that earlier, it comes down to tapping into our community to help us build Meryt out. So this comes down to how these people are being rewarded, because we see there are various other platforms out there who aren't able to effectively reward people for their contribution in kind. So what we're bringing is a solution to allow people with various skills to come and leverage what they know, be it to leverage their skills in order to push the development of the platform forward. So we are looking at various ways of doing this. It's either as a form of one-time payment, pulling money together, seeing the interest of the community, and therefore choosing what needs to be prioritized and how much each person needs to be paid in exchange for that. But we're also looking at a path where people that build these integrations into the platform, so really bring decentralized applications from across the space into Meryt, to be rewarded in perpetuity, either denominated as in fees that are generated from these integrations. So we're really we're open, and we're thinking about what best to integrate in order to make these people come to us, and as well as feel rewarded for what they're bringing to the protocol.
Okay. Thanks, Răzvan.
This is something, you know, you may have seen Vitalik bring up at the FCC conference a week or so ago. It's a big challenge in the space is how to reward people fairly for their contributions to the ecosystem. It's quite a challenge. The existing approaches try to estimate the future value and kind of pay people up front. And that's obviously very, very hit and miss. And it results in people either getting paid huge amounts for stuff that doesn't work, or doesn't work that well, or doesn't provide that much value, you know, on the other hand, people providing stuff that creates huge value for the ecosystem and either not getting paid or not getting rewarded fairly. And we've got, I think, quite an innovative method that rewards people with actually a share of the value as it materializes. Yeah.
And great, of course, that Vitalik was referencing the whole sort of problem statement, you know, at the ETH conference last week. You know, very exciting for Meryt. It means that, you know, the project's really onto something.